Blessings, everybody. Blessings, blessings. This is Dr. David King, and welcome to the Wisconsin Revival Rally Show. I'm just waiting on my guests to come in. I just want to welcome everybody that is in, and we just is grateful for what God is doing. And those of you that are watching and you would like to join the show, and you want to get in on the conversation, you are welcome to let me know, and I will bring you on the show tonight. I'm just waiting on a couple of people to come on board. There go one right now. He's coming in. I'm just waiting on his screen to kick in. But we want to just welcome everybody tonight. Welcome. All right, there he goes. You're muted, sir. Unmute yourself. You unmute yourself, sir. You're muted.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you, sir? Say something else, because I think your volume is a little low.
You said the volume's a little low?
Yeah. Check your volume real quick so we can get started with this. All right. Now try something. Try to say something. All right. Just having a little technical difficulty with him, but we're going to be talking tonight about how did we get here. And so we welcome each and every one of you to comment or to come on tonight. And so there you go. Say something now. Oh, he bumped himself out. So we'll wait for him to come back. But we're talking tonight about how do we get here? How do we get in the place that we in right now? How do we ended up have to fight for our freedom? How did we ended up losing control of a lot of things where we would sleep and allow government to make laws against parents? How did we get to this place? And that's what we want to talk about tonight. And my guest, I guess he's having a little technical difficulty, but he's going to come back, Brother Ian. And anybody else that wants to join the show, all you have to do is let me know, and I will. Oh, they both coming on right now.
And
there she goes.
That's be good. Now, you know what?
Hello.
The IT background came in handy because I was on the Bluetooth, and then I had to go ahead and change things up. How are you doing?
I am great, and we have Ruth with us from Faith, Family, and Freedom. I am just grateful. So we only got in for a little while, Ruth, and then it's gonna be me and you. We're gonna have some fun with this tonight, okay?
Uh-oh.
The topic,
brother, you acting like I'm a little famous. You know what? People in our circle like me, and I appreciate it, and thank you. But yeah, let's have some fun.
so here's the topic for tonight. How
Yes, sir.
did we get here?
Don't even
That's
get me
what
started.
We want to talk about. That's how we want to talk about tonight. How did we get here? And I'm saying the church fell asleep and the people relaxed is how we got here. And the reason I say that is because they took our rights as parents and we didn't pay it no attention.
Well, you know what? I was going to say, I was at service this Sunday, right? And the pastor was, the priest, because I'm Catholic. So the priest was he was promoting a lot of things that were liberal point of views. And I don't knock anyone. And in addition to not knocking anyone, the only judge is God. So with that said, though, it was kind of like, man, I'm like, why are we talking about divorce is a good thing? Why are we? And I'm not saying homosexuality is bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I will say is we have people that are homosexual. God is the judge. But it just seems like we're a little, we're accepting to things that really shouldn't be accepted right now. Does that make any sense, David? Or am I kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think
Well,
you
I'm
understand what I'm saying.
I'm gonna let Ruth
It
touch
threw me
that
back.
first. Well, I'm gonna let Ruth touch it first, then I'm gonna touch it.
Well, I have to agree is that, we have become I don't want to say a laxed people, but truth be said, we've been disobedient. All of us need to take responsibility for where we're at. I say that, I was a young mother. I'm 41 now, and I see the world much differently than I did, in my early 20s, raising 3 young children. And,
Yes.
the word teaches us, when I was a child, I thought as a child, but now, those days are over. And we're hopefully rearing children who, are respectful and understand God's word primarily. And that starts in the home. And so we've
Absolutely.
allowed others to take our role. We were given, if we're parents, we were given those blessings, and we are, the caretakers of those blessings. And not everybody is given that privilege. And so we need to start going back. We need to go back. I like to think of God's word as being cyclical. It's not linear. There's nothing that hasn't been done. We're seeing things all over again. And we need to go back. We need to go back to the roots. We need to go back to the word. Everything that we need is right there. It's a shame that
I agree.
we didn't learn our lesson, and I don't want to not take responsibility for my actions, for even the disobedience of my parents. I ask for forgiveness for them as well. But I know better now.
Amen.
And so I'm going to do better. And so, it's our place is not to cast judgment, but we do need to speak truth. And sometimes truth hurts.
Yes.
And it started with us. There was a day we looked in the mirror and we said, you are the one. You're the one to blame. And it hurt. I remember having that revelation. And I always wanted to blame somebody.
Ruth, you're talking about you're talking about what I actually like to bring up to my children. You're talking about convenient Christianity. Because the problem that we've had as far as a Christian society, people will pick and choose. People will say, I want to do this, I want to do this, and want to do this. And then they'll try to reinterpret God's word and switch it up. So I really appreciate what you're saying right now, because what you're saying, Ruth, really needs to be said, because a lot of people are actually not on that. Now, granted, all of us sin, all of us, we really fail in the eyes of Christ. With that said, though, God loves us. And you're absolutely right, because
I gotta jump in on this now. I gotta jump in.
Jump in. Absolutely.
We gotta, and yes, God loves us, but here's the thing about the church. The church problem is this: we use God loves, but we don't understand God's love, because God says, I chastise those that I love. So those of us that are compromising his word don't belong to him. Even though we in a building, you can't tell me you belong to, see, here's the thing about it. You can't tell me you belong to God and you're okay with other things. Okay. For example, homosexuality. I'm not going to bash anybody. I'm going to love them, but I'm going to tell them the truth. To the eyes of God, that's an abomination. Now, I love you. You know, I love you. You're not going to tell my kids that God made a mistake when he made them a male or a female. You know, you're not going to tell my kids. I'm going to stand up for that. When the church, what happened with the church is the church got too soft. Okay. And in the process of getting too soft, we compromised the word of God. And when we compromise the word of God, what ended up happening is we have failed the people. Because why? The people looked up to the church. They put their trust in the men and women of God who sold them out. You know, and so when you look at the church trying to keep up with the world, we done watered it down. We done allowed them to do things and turn our backs on it. We know we was voting for somebody who was gonna vote against God. We know this. So in knowing all of this, you know, we have to, that's why I said what messed up our country is politicians and preachers. That's what messed up our country.
But David, I gotta ask you. Now.
Come on.
David, I gotta ask you.
I'm waiting.
Why ain't you running for mayor in Milwaukee right now? I gotta ask you. Because I think Milwaukee needs you.
Well, here's the thing about it. The state of Wisconsin needs me. Okay? Milwaukee needs me, but the state of Wisconsin needs me. Tom Barrett is not going nowhere until they confirm him and whatever. But we have to, you have to understand, the reason I'm running for lieutenant governor, because we need somebody strong in that office. We need somebody that's going to represent our children. Because here's the thing about it. If we don't start agitating them, now to change laws, reverse a lot of those laws, like give the parents back their power. If we don't do that right now, we can forget it, because they're steady creeping in, taking our freedom away. They're steady creeping in, attacking us on the jobs. They're attacking us in the school. They're attacking us. He done bounce back out, so we'll catch him later. But they're attacking us in places where we need to have strong people in office to reverse some of this stuff. And this is why it is important. This is why it's important that we start. You know, you don't kill a snake from a tail. You got to get it at the head.
Yep.
And that's where we gotta go. Because if we do not attack now to reverse some things that we know, and some people didn't even know they didn't have rights. Some mothers found out when they took their daughter to the hospital, and the daughter 14, and then asked the daughter, "Do you want your mommy in the room with you?" You know, so they didn't know they was losing their rights. The rights was taken away, and nobody said anything.
Yep. Yeah, you know, it's a very painful thing to witness. You know, I was at the store the other day, and I saw this young, you know, teenage couple, and they're holding hands, and you know, it just seemed to me, I was looking at them, and it seemed to me like they were so carefree, you know, like the troubles of the world really weren't affecting them. And my heart was so heavy burdened from all of the weight carrying from knowledge, from knowing better. And you know, I remember thinking, you know, we have so much work to do. We have so much work, and we don't have time to sleep. People have been sleeping. And I don't know about you, Dr. King, but I've lost a lot of sleep. I've been woken up in the middle of my sleep, and, you know, I'm like, I keep wanting to sleep. And, you know, I had to tell myself, God's telling me it's not time to sleep. It's time to be up, and it's time to, you know, start witnessing. It's time to start thinking about what you're going to do. I'm waking you up. I'm not allowing you to sleep.
Right. And you know, and I'm like you, and I'm so glad that Ian asked that question because you know Ian is a troublemaker anyway. So he
We
like
appreciate Ian.
yeah, Ian is a troublemaker anyway. But you know, when we look at it, a lot of people are hurting. You heard what I said about you, right, Ian?
Yeah, I heard the troublemaker part, and it's funny because, like, oh my God, I hate that I'm running out of time because the one thing I wanted to address, I wish you would run for mayor in Milwaukee this time,
But see, here's the thing about
personally,
here's the thing
because right now Milwaukee needs you, huh?
right, but here's the thing about it. Whoever runs in this special election, whenever he leaves, got to go back and run all over again. You know, so that's a waste of time and money right now. But the
That's
state,
true. You ain't lying though.
but the state needs me as well. They need a lion. We need a lion.
They
Listen,
do.
if I knew we had lions in this race for any of them, if I know we had lions that's gonna be bold, who say they represent God and be bold about it, and I would even be in this race.
Yeah.
But the thing what I'm sick and tired of, I can't sit on the sideline and just watch us go to hell in a handbasket.
Did you see my video today that I did? I called Tony Evers and I left a message because, you know, Mandela Barnes came out and said that Ron Johnson was making tax breaks for his friends. So I called Governor Evers' office and left a message, and I put it on TikTok and I've been sharing and I put it on Twitter. It's because, dude, I'm tired. David, I'm tired. I'm tired of this leftist narrative and acting like we some flat earthers, acting like we're not intelligent, and really trying to just control everything. So that's why I'm saying, like, I know Bob is running for mayor. I don't know as far as the relationship with you and Bob right now, but I'm supporting Bob because he's running for mayor and we need that kind of mayor in Milwaukee, if that makes sense.
Right. But here's the thing with me. Whoever I support for mayor,
yes,
wants to be able to tell me what's his plan for my children's future.
Yeah.
They ain't got no plan.
True.
See, it's time out for us just, you know, I'm sick of we gotta vote for the lesser of the two evils.
Yes.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of
exactly.
You heard
exactly.
You just heard what happened today, yesterday, right? So yesterday, the ticket might be Tony Evers and Lena Taylor. Yes.
You know I know about Lena, right? So I'm not gonna go there.
No. But
because I don't want somebody to try to shut you up.
No. I'm just saying. So here's the thing. So here's the thing about it. Our state is at jeopardy.
Yeah.
And so I have to stay in this fight. I have to stay in this race. I have to be who God called me to be now.
Lena, David, Lena can barely read. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm not saying that as an insult. No. My mother was the office manager at Hossman McNally. They're a law firm. Lena can barely read. I don't even know how she got her degree. I'm not saying that to be funny. Lena has tried to shut me down on so many levels. Remember when you were running, what she did. And if you want to share with the people what she did, I mean, if you want to share to the people what she did when you were running, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to, but I'll tell you this. Lena is not a competent person to run for anything.
Okay, but watch this.
She's not competent, though.
But if we don't educate people, right? Because here's the thing about it. Ruth is out there fighting for medical freedom. You got people fighting for schools. But here's the thing about
Absolutely.
A lot of people in Milwaukee don't even know there's a fight right now.
No. They don't even know about the Jacob Project with Senator Johnson and Orlando Owens. They don't even know about that.
Well, they know about the Joseph Project, just like they. But see, here's the thing about it. Yeah, but just like they know about God Squad and the jobs that I gave out. But people know. But the point is not. The point now is it's not even about. They want to know who care, and they want to know who's going to fight, and they want to know who's going to win. That's why we got K. Carl coming in. He's coming back this Friday. You need to hear him. He's a magnificent man. Oh my God!
I heard you have an event this Friday.
Oh yes, we're in Sheboygan. We're partnering with. Yeah, we're partnering with Faith, Family, and Freedom, and having another Wisconsin revival rally. And so when you look,
I wish I was there.
Yeah, you should be there because I'm telling you, it's so powerful. I know you're going on Ed's show. Ed is going to be there. He's the MC. So
he's MC. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this: if we don't kill it at the head, right? If we don't knock out in Madison first, if we don't deal with Madison first, right, and change the direction of our state with I don't like to even come out my mouth, Evers and Taylor. That just but
don't do that.
But the thing about it is this is how we got here. Because we just looked at folks and said, well, we might as well just vote for the lesser of the two evils. And both of them was evil. So you knew you wasn't getting anything good. Now our kids is at stake. Now we got to worry about our children. We got to worry about them indoctrinating our kids, confusing our kids. Then you got to worry about Child Protection Agency coming in after your kids. So, it's so much we got to fight now that we shouldn't have to fight. Because here's the thing about it. Neither party went to the parents to say, they're about to vote for your law to take your power away from you. Neither party.
Exactly.
Neither party says, you know what, we're putting this law in called child abuse, and there's no distinguish between discipline and abuse. So guess what? You're about to lose your child and get a fine. So they didn't say, we're about to make a law where the parents don't have any power, but the school going to have power over your kid. Neither side came and warned the parents about nothing. This is why it's important that I run for lieutenant governor. So now we know what to fight for. You gotta
know what? Exactly. No, exactly. And everything you're saying is completely accurate. And that's why I'm glad that you're in the race. But you're killing me. I'm gonna get killed because I'm 3 minutes over. You know what? You know what? We definitely have to do this again because there's so many things that I wanted to address as far as in the statement you made. And that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is we don't have enough people that care about the community enough to run. And then in addition to the people that don't care about the community to run, they're running for a paycheck. Look at Tom Barrett in Milwaukee, and then I got to go. But look at Tom Barrett in Milwaukee. He's getting his 6-figure check. And in addition to him getting his 6-figure check, he's done nothing about crime in the 12 or 13 years that he's been there. In addition to him not doing anything regarding crime, they had a $1 trillion debt when he took office. It's at about 1.8. I think it's a 1.8 trillion or 1.7 trillion. I don't know. But that's where we are right now. I was with a police officer tonight. He's in my family, so I'm biased. But he said he thinks they're about like Jay Weber on his show because I listened to Jay Weber's show. I talk to Jay Weber a lot. But when I was listening to Jay Weber's show, he said there are about 500 officers understaffed. My cousin said, he was like, Ian, we about 700 officers understaffed. He was telling me how they're still in the Kia cars. And one thing I want to tell your audience before you leave, what they're doing now is stoplight. There's one car that'll pull in front of you, another car that'll pull in back of you. They'll run in, get you out the car, steal it, and they'll block you in. That's what they used to do in Los Angeles in the early 2000s and the mid 90s. Reported. And my point in bringing it up is we need strong leadership. So do I think that Bob can kind of do that? Yes, because quite frankly, we need somebody that's going to hire more police officers, that's going to make sure the roads are fixed, and to make sure snow and garbage removal is good, because those are the top 3 or 4 things that a freaking mayor should do.
Okay, so let me ask you this question before
we
you
have
go.
a problem.
Let me ask you this
And that's a
question
problem
before you go.
even bigger than politics.
Right. But let me ask you this question before you go.
Yes,
You
sir.
ready? Okay. Is Bob Donovan going to fix the abusive relationship between the Black community and the city? Is Bob Donovan going to fix the abusive relationship between the city of Milwaukee and the Black community?
David, I sat down with him about 8 years ago. We had that conversation. You smiling because you know my answer. You know I don't BS. One of the reasons I get in trouble as far as, whatever, like I said today, 1 million people have searched my name. I've done videos, all this. And the reason I say that is because I want people in the grassroots to understand, like, this is real. You can do your thing just as a regular person and whatever. No, Black people are not voting for him. And the problem with that is, I think Cavalier Johnson is running. Cavalier is going to win.
No, he ain't.
And I've said that. I'm going to try to help Bob as much as possible.
Cavalier going to win what?
What? You said he ain't going to win?
No.
He's going to be the mayor.
Yeah, the intern until the election.
Who?
He ain't done nothing either.
Who going to?
I don't know.
It don't matter. Mandela Barnes ain't done nothing. And if Evers wins again, he's going to be lieutenant. I guess he's running for senator, but D, what are you talking about? You already know what time it is. Well, they voting for the Democrat, bro. You know that. Come on.
Not necessarily. Not this time.
I'll call you later after the show, but you know what time it is.
Well, yeah, you listen. I'm gonna share something with you when you call me. I'm gonna share something with you.
I hate it because it's breaking up so bad.
I don't know why yours breaking. I don't know why yours breaking up, but I tell you this.
It's breaking up because I'm using my cellular data. Yes.
Now I bet you when you go on Ed Show, you ain't gonna use your cellular.
No, because I'm doing an audio. I told you I needed to do an audio.
But let me say this. It's too much at stake right now. And what we're doing right now is educating people in Milwaukee.
I'm not trying to get you in no trouble either.
No, I don't worry about getting in trouble. I stay in trouble. My middle name is Trouble.
It don't like me out. I'm not trying to get you in no trouble.
I'm trying to see.
D,
I got to see who this
D, you already know what time it is.
I know, but wait a minute. I'm trying to see who this is.
I seen the comment. I'm looking at the comment. Dude, we are not letting Roof talk. I feel so bad because, like, you my guy. It's just, D, for real. We know what time it is. They're going to vote for the Democrat. And I can break down. Oh, my God. I'm like 9 minutes over. I can literally break down.
I'm trying to see who wrote that because I can't see the name.
To vote for who?
Listen, I don't see it that way.
Whoever Tony Evers who.
Okay, go get on your real equipment and quit playing with us. Go get on your real equipment and quit playing with us. Get on the real stuff, man.
I got my thoughts about, Mayor.
Come on with it. Come on with it, Ruth.
I don't, if I've been hearing the same name forever and ever, and I haven't seen them because there's a lot of people who've already, their names have already been out there for a long time. And I can't see a track record of anything that they've done. So I've
Bingo.
pretty much scratched them off. They're not even remotely in an area where I would vote for them. I am literally looking for grassroots. I want to start from the bottom up.
Yeah.
I'm
And, you
done
know,
playing.
and that's what we got to do. We got to look at track records, and they don't have, no track records. They don't have, it's, and we see it now. It's time out just voting for a Democrat and voting for a Republican. People want somebody that's going to support the people. People
Yep.
want somebody that's really going to protect their children, and people are looking for people that's going to be bold enough to stand up. And what we've been having lately is people that say one thing, but then they do something totally different. And this is why we here right now. I had a young lady in my office today, and this is why I wanted to bring this conversation up. How did we get here? Is because, and she was 19, and she worried what it's going to be for us by 2030. Are we going to be under the New World Order by 2030? Is there any hope for us? Is it over for us? I told her, no, it's not over. I said, it's not over until we stop fighting. So as we fight, as we go forward, as we say, you know what, we're done with the mess that's going on. So what do we need to do? We need to make sure that everybody know that don't look at what you see right now, because it can get better. If you just look at what it is right now, you'll quit, you'll stop, you'll just go home and start weeping and never come outside. No, this is the time where you roll up your sleeve, you hear the commotion, you hear the protesting, you hear the rallies, you hearing. So that's telling you, okay, listen to the sound. The sound is excitement. The sound is people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. The sound is people are angry. And that's a good thing, because when you're angry, you do something.
David, you know what occurred to me is I believe that people have forgotten what injustice sounds like. Okay, and I'm going to give you an example, because my situation, well, you know my situation and what happened. So I ended up losing my job, and I was desperate to try to find somebody to help. And I'm calling all of these attorneys. And it was one closed door after another. Okay. And right off the bat, there should have been somebody that heard the injustice and stepped up.
Yes.
Somebody always wants something. Okay. And they're forgetting that the benefit of tending to a call of injustice is a benefit for everybody always.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't find that right away. People were afraid. They were afraid. I was getting all across the board. Well, I don't know. You need to go through the Department of Workforce Development and put your grievances there. All right, fine. I did that. And then once you're done with that, depending on that determination, they'll send it to the EEOC. And I thought, well, there is absolutely no way that it can't get to the EEOC, and they're not going to speak for me, because that's what they do, right?
Right.
They're supposed to speak for the people. And it wasn't too far into it when I realized these people aren't for me. These people are not for me. I gotta go find me the lion that's going to do for me. And so that was the seed that was planted. And I realized that I'm not going to sit back and wait for something to happen. I'm not going to sit back and wait for somebody to come to my rescue. Nobody's coming, because I was given, right? I was given the ability to reason. I was given the ability to speak for myself, using my own words because they were given to me. And
Right.
so I said, no. I said, that's enough. I'm going to go out and I'm going to seek God's people, because we went way astray. And that's why I'm having a hard time trying to find someone, because people do not want to be told how to live. They don't want to live by law.
Right.
And either it's going to be, and it's a shame, because either it's going to be the government or it's going to be God's law.
Yes.
Either it's going to be, Lucifer, or it's going to be God's law. So what?
And I choose God's law over
That's
Lucifer
right.
any day.
That's right. And so we are at the point already. It's already here. We can no longer tend to Satan's law. As God's people, we need to abide by his law, and we need to put our foot down, and we need to demand it. Because what's the consequence of us not putting our foot down?
Yeah. Now, this is what I'm gonna read something to you. This is what the 19-year-old came to my office and was talking about. She sent this to me out of a book that somebody was talking to her about, the New World Order. Okay. And this is what it said in the New World Order. It says the New World Order will include changes in the family. Homosexuality marriage will be legal. Parents will not be allowed to raise their children. The state will. This is where we at right now. This is where we at right now. All women will be employed by the state and not allowed to be homemakers. Divorce will become exceedingly easy, and normal marriages will be slowly phasing out. Normal marriages. Okay, so this is where we at right now, and so you got a 19-year-old saying, "Well, what about us?" I love God. What about us? Is it over for us? I said, "Oh, it's never over.
No.
It's not over." Okay. And then watch this, the workplace. The government will become the owner of all the factories of production. The private ownership of property will be outlawed. Religion will be outlawed, and believers will be either eliminated or imprisoned. There will be a new religion, the worship of man and his mind. All will believe in the new religion. So when you have somebody coming in my office saying, "Hey, this is what," and this happened today, they was like, "Oh my God, what about us?" I'm like, please. The Bible asks me two questions. Are you ashamed of Jesus? Jesus said, "If you be ashamed of me," right?
That's right.
Then he went on to say, "And my word." So not just be ashamed to say I belong to him, but am I ashamed to stand on his word? And and that's where a lot of us got to do right now. We got to rise up and stand on his word. And so when even though it's going to happen, because in Revelation it tells us it's going to happen, but it doesn't have to happen because we surrendered. You know what I mean? Or we ran and hide, because he didn't tell us to run and hide. I believe the reason everything's happening right now is like not Revelation, Acts chapter 8. Now watch this. In Acts chapter 8, it says this. And Saul was conceding to Stephen's death. Wait a minute. Yeah, Stephen's death. And on that day, a great severe persecution broke out against the church, which was in Jerusalem. And they were all scattered throughout the region. Now, that's what happened in verse 1. But verse 4 says, now those who were scattered abroad went about throughout the land from place to place, preaching the glad tidings, the word, the doctrine concerning Christ. So he said, okay, yeah, we got persecution right now, right? But those of us that's in that persecution is out now what? sharing the word of God, standing on the word of God, right? Because why? God says, okay, I need you was too comfortable in your church. You was listening to watered down sermons that sounded good to you. And while you was doing that and while you was asleep, your rights been taken away. They started indoctrinating your children. They starting to bully you. So now what you gonna do?
Yep.
You know, so now it's time for us to rise up and say, you know what? I'm gonna show the love of God where their hatred is. I'm gonna show love, right? I'm gonna try to bring unity where there's division without compromising the word of God.
Yep. You know, I think that you know, we are seeing them just trying to muffle out God's word. You know, as you had experienced, you know, being a pastor, that, you know, they closed the church and they wanted for the word of God just to be muffled out.
Right.
And we can't allow for that to happen. You
Yeah.
know, you know, what happens, and I always think about this, what happens if they come after our Bibles? Because we're going to start seeing it in the clinics. You know,
Yeah.
when we used to go to a hotel and there used to be a Bible in the drawer,
Right.
in every drawer, they're going to start taking all that stuff out.
Right.
And so the reality is that the word of God needs to be planted where it's supposed to be,
Right.
within our hearts. And we have to be so convicted. So convicted. You know, we are so far from where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. And for the records, they closed their church. Mine didn't close. They closed their church. And then what we did, we took all 2020, all the summer of 2020, we took church to the state capitals and we had service at the state capitol, outside the state capitol. So while everybody else was shut down, we were still going
Yep.
because I obeyed God. And if I would have had to go to jail that day, I would have went to jail. And as soon as I got out, I would have went right back and had another service right there. So, you know, and that's what we need right now. We need people that's going to be bold, not only dealing with the freedom of speech and who we are in God, but to return the power to the parents. You know, give that back. We need to have I like to call it a campaign on sending people back to work. There's so many jobs out there, they need to go to work, you know, because here's the thing about it. If they don't, you know, then the economy gonna crash. Then we also got to deal with the bullies. You know, how much are you getting paid to make people take the shot? You know, we need to deal with them as well. You know, and say to them, okay, for everybody you don't forced out, you got to repay them. You got to pay them back. You got to give them back that what they lost. You know, but government ain't bold enough to stand for that right now. But in 2022, oh yeah, we're coming strong. We're coming strong to make what's wrong right again.
I do honestly believe that now is the time.
Yes.
You know, there are so many people out there, and maybe they don't want to verbalize it quite yet, but they're coming out of the woodwork. People who I was kind of skeptical, didn't really know what side, you know, they're leaning on, you know, they're afraid.
Yes.
They're finally starting to see it. And, you know, it would be a shame if we didn't go out speaking truth, because these people are so thirsty for it. You know, I was blessed. I was blessed, even in a dysfunctional home, to have a mother who sent us to church every Sunday and every Wednesday. And that seed was planted long ago. And even through the dysfunction and even through my years of disobedience, the word was always there. And so it wasn't until he spoke to me until it was my time that those seeds started to bear fruit.
Okay.
And, I have so many acquaintances. I can't say that they're friends. I have so many acquaintances, and they're acquaintances for a reason.
Right.
Because, if you don't want to accept truth, if you want to listen to truth, if the only thing you want to do is go out and have a few drinks, maybe gossip every now and then about God knows what, I don't have time for that. My time is short. And I've already wasted too many years.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? I'm checking something. I think is anybody watching from King for Lieutenant Governor page? If you're watching from that page, make a statement, because I don't see us on here. I see us on one page, but I do not see us on the King for Lieutenant Governor page. So somebody, I don't know, maybe we done made them mad.
It's too early for that.
I know. Daniel, you watching from my personal page. You're not on the group page, right? Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, yeah, he's on my page. So I'm trying to figure out who's on the group page, or because I think they bumped us off of the group page. I guess we're not allowed to talk about what we're talking about today. Let's see. Okay, so it's not that page. I wonder why we're not. It says we are live. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that we're alive, but I don't know off of which platform.
Are you you can see it that we're live?
Yep.
Are you on the do you know which one you own?
No, I have, from what I see, it's just what you send me, the link.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, we're missed somewhere. They bumped us off. I think they bumped us off of the group page. Let me go back to it and see. Okay, there you go. They let us back.
It might just be the internet connection. It sure has been slow lately.
Yeah. So, yeah. So when we look at everything that's going on, far as how we got here, and a lot of people say, well, it's God's plan for us to go through certain things. No, God allows it because we allow it. We allow people to be in office because we thought they was going to support us. So God didn't get fooled. We got lied to. They lied to us, and we believed the lies. And so in the process of us believing that lie, in the process of us believing that lie, we made a mess of things, and now we got to clean it up.
Yep.
And so in the process of us cleaning it up is how. First, we got to undo some things. First of all, we got to stop being scared. And those that are confused, those that are a little worried, I think what they need to do is think about what's at stake, look at their beautiful child in their face, and says, this is why I'm fighting for this right here. I'm fighting for my child. I'm fighting for my grandchild. I'm fighting for freedom, period. I'm tired of parents um, have to call me and says, well, we're going through this. And what are you doing? Well, they telling me I can't do nothing. What do you mean you can't do nothing? Well, they told me that they don't have to tell me what my son is going through in school. Why don't they have to tell you? You're the parent.
Yep.
You know, well, they want to know what's going on in the house. No, it's what's going on in the school. It's not what's going on in the house. You know, so when we look at it, we're missing out because of our kids. We're missing out because we have allowed the wrong people to govern us. We allowed the wrong people, and that's what we did. We allowed them to govern us. We gave them permission to govern us. You know, but we did not monitor what they was governing.
Yeah. People didn't start paying attention until it became intrusive.
Yes.
They did it. They did it behind our backs. We didn't vote on any of it, like you said.
Yes.
But it's just as simple. That spirit of fear is so strong. And it's so simple.
Yes.
They can't function without us.
That's true.
So if they come and they tell you, something about your children, well, then you just take them out.
Right.
You take them all out together. And I remember Candace Owens saying, well, then we regroup and we do our own thing. Keep your federal dollars.
That's what the time it is.
Money.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what time it is. It's time to regroup. It's time to say, okay, you know what? We tried it this way. This is what we got. You know what? And that's just like me when it comes to the city of Milwaukee. Why would I want, I need somebody that's going to do something. I don't want to just put anybody in that mayor seat. We need somebody that's going to do something. Everybody that's already in office is part of the problem of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So why would you go and put somebody and give them a promotion?
Yep.
Well, I don't get that. Why would you even just say, okay, we want you to become the full leader now? It's just like taking a dishwasher and making him the chef.
Yeah, because if they would have wanted that position in the first place, they would have taken it.
Right.
These aren't baby steps.
Right. And all of a sudden you're in a 5-star restaurant and you say, okay, dishwasher, today you're the chef. And he's going to know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so if so one of the things that and here's the thing about it, we don't want to put the dishwasher as the chef. Because why? We like him. He's been there a long time. Let's see what this person's saying. Take a look at that.
Oh, well, they've been exposed. They've just been shutting us out.
Yes.
There's a lot of filthiness coming out.
Yes.
But they're doing a darn job of making sure that people don't find out.
And I was watching Channel 6 News, and Lena Taylor had announced she was running for governor, right? Mm-hmm. And do you know they only named 3 people? They didn't put my name in that at all.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they put Patrick Testin, David, the mayor of Lancaster, and then Ben, who used to work for Ron Johnson. They didn't say my name at all. And we sitting there like, wait a minute.
I put in my paperwork.
Way before the rest of them. So why not say my name?
Yeah.
Because they want people to think that that's all she got to go up against.
It's a common theme. You know, you're not the only one that's dealing with that. You know, we have Jonathan, you
Yeah.
know, he's been experiencing that as well. And you know, it just gives me so much more curiosity when that happens. I'm like, well, I guess I got some work to do on my own,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm gonna bring some people with me if I hear something good. And
Right.
that's exactly what we've been doing. That's how I met you, David.
I know, right?
I was like, ooh, I heard some truth there. I heard it there. You know, and you get all giddy.
I know. And you're gonna always get truth, because of the fact that that's what we need right now. We don't need nothing sugar coated. That's why I tell people, I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. Forget what you want to hear.
Yep. You
You know,
can't get caught in a lie when you're speaking truth.
right.
You
You
cannot
know,
get caught in a lie.
not at all. You know, we need taxes done. Wait a minute. But they're okay. What did he say? No more sheep or rhinos.
Rhinos.
It's time for lions.
Lions. That's right.
You know,
That's right.
and so
Time to start calling them out.
it's time. And if we don't, here's the thing about it. When we decide enough is enough, when the people I'm talking about decide enough is enough, that's when you're going to get some changes. When people say enough is enough. And when you got nurses and doctors and teachers and real school board members and parents, you know, saying it ain't right. You know, now you got pastors waking up and hollering, it ain't right. You know, we was in Oconomowoc and on Thursday, and Pastor, his name's Steve German. Pastor Steve German says, no, his member introduced him and say, when I talked to him on the phone, he said he wanted to be the first pastor to go to jail. And I said, I'm sorry, he wouldn't be the first. He might be second or third, but he ain't gonna be first. You know, because that's where we at now. You know, it's about what? Hold on, somebody else done threw something from YouTube.
That's right.
Okay, all right. We'll go. We love that one too. Keep it coming. You know, because here's the thing that I look at. And we always heard the saying, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna always fall for anything. Right? We failed so many times, so many times, but anything, you know, we were like, oh, this person is really. Why is it that if you was an employer, right, and you was interviewing me for a position, one of the things you would ask me is, give me at least what? 3 reference.
Why is it 3?
Right. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, right?
That's right.
Then they say, give me 3 reference that is not kin to you. They don't want your family members no more. Because family members will say anything to get you a job, probably so you can pay some rent. But give me 3 reference. I need to know that you are credible in what you say you do. You know, give me something where I can feel safe. So what they did was they fixed it where you're not allowed to say anything bad about anybody no more, right?
Yep.
Because if you say something bad, you can get sued, right? So when I was in corporate America and dealing with that, we came up with a good one. And guess what we did? We just asked you one question. Ruth, would you hire David again? We won't even ask, was he a good employee? Was he a bad employee? We'll just ask you, would you hire him again? And guess what? Your answer would tell us already
Yep.
Well, at this time we wouldn't. That lets me know he ain't worth it.
Yep. We'll know. We'll be known by our fruit. That's true. No, we definitely have a lot of people that claim to be lions, but I can't hear them.
Yes.
They need to be loud.
Real loud, and we need to be, and not just making noise, because we can do some
There's
things.
the
We can make,
constructive noise.
right. We can be cheerleaders and get the crowd fired up. But after the fired up, what have you done?
Yep.
Because I tell people, I am a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I'm still sore because we lost to the Packers, right? But I can hide this symbol. I can hide it, right? And I can go holler and stand in a crowd of people and holler, "Go Pack, go!" And everybody will start hollering, "Go Pack, go!" because they Packer fans, and that's what they want to hear, right? And I got them cheering, "Go Pack, go!" not knowing I'm not even a Packer fan. Because I'm only giving you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right? But if I go in and say, you know what, you need to work on this, and you need to work on this, and you need to work on that, we don't want to hear that. We got the best. Okay, then how come you ain't showing that you're the best? How you gonna tell me you're a fighter and I never saw you in any fights? Wait, do you got any proof? Let me see your portfolio. Let me see you out there fighting. Let me see you doing something productive. Let me see you. Let me go ask anybody else. I'm
gonna take off my earrings right now, Dad.
Yes. Let me see. Let me see something from you. Then I know that you're a fighter. I know. That's like when K. Carl came. When K. Carl came. I'm gonna put this comment up in a second. But when K. Carl came, the first thing we put out there was our resume. We've been doing this since 2011, 2012. We've been running around converting Democrats to Frederick Douglass Republican back then. So it ain't like this is something new to us. No, this is something we've been doing a while. And so when people say, well, I thought, no, you thought what? No, this is not new. Frederick Douglass to Wisconsin is not new. It's been here. It's something that we've been doing and educating and helping people to understand you have a right. This is America still. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You have a right. I don't care if you got a felon behind your name. You got a right to still have your own business. Look at Judge Mathis. I mean, he came straight from the pits of jail, doing his thing. Joe Brown, the same thing, So it ain't like your life is over. You get a second opportunity. Stop listening to the lie. There's a gentleman that came in my office. What's today? Tuesday. Yesterday. Today I got him a job. He had an interview today. He got a job. So in the last 2 days, 5 people I sent to work, they got jobs. Okay. So he came in my office and I said to him that he saw my cards about me running for office. I said, but I'm not a Democrat. He looked, you're not? I said, no. I said, I'm a Frederick Douglass Republican. And he looked, he said, I don't understand that. I says, I believe in personal responsibility. He was like, ooh, yeah. I said, I believe in making money and keeping most of my money in my pocket. He was like, yeah. I believe my children should have the right to go to whatever school I want them to go to. He was like, yeah. And then I said, you've been defined by the system. I've been defined by God. I said, I came through Milwaukee, but I came from heaven. I said, the reason they're beating you is because you don't know who you are yet. And you need to learn out, you need to find out who you are.
Yep. Back to last week, identity, right?
Yes. And I told them, I said, see, the problem is this. They build a car that can go 160 miles an hour, and then they stack a sticker up that says 55. So they'll never let the car go as fast as it possibly can, because they always put limitations on it. I said, stop letting them put limitations on you. And you know what he said today? He said, thank you for the job. He says, thank you for helping me to see who I am and what I need to do. And I told him, you know what? You won't never be able to tell your daughter who she is until you find out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what this person say here.
That's right.
Yep. And you know, I found this out. You know why? Another reason why we're in this? Because of our biggest enemy. You know what our biggest enemy is? Our last success.
I'm like, time.
Huh?
I'm like thinking time.
No. Our biggest enemy is our last success. We elect somebody in office and we stop. And we party thinking, okay, we elected them. Now they're going to go do what they're supposed to do for us. And we stop. The other side, whether they win or lose, they still going. They still going because they greedy. They didn't have enough. It's like the movie The Lion King, right? When in The Lion King, when Mustafa Mustafa died, right?
Yep.
When he died and the lion and the hyena took over, you saw what they did to the land. They just made it waste.
Yep. Desolate.
And that's what's happening right now. The hyenas are in charge and they're making it desolate. And it's because we didn't know who we are, and a lot of us didn't know what to do. But now we know what to do. And that's why I'm so glad that there's women like you. There's women like my wife Rose. There's women like Jackie. There are women like Nikki, you know, and there's women like Andrea, and I ain't gonna keep naming because I'm gonna forget somebody and they're gonna bust my head to the white meat. But there's just women like you women out here that are hungry, excited, on fire. We're gonna hear from a couple of them on Friday. Tyra Marie is speaking on Friday. So you know, it's like you got Faith Freedom Family, you got Wolf, you got Jefferson County Freedom Forum, you got Sheboygan, you got Wisconsin Patriots. I mean, you got a bunch of them that's saying enough is enough. And you know what my prayer is? My prayer is we stay unified, that no group get jealous of the other group, that everybody remember the mission.
Yep.
You
because
know,
we're all given gifts.
yes.
You know, trying
And
to
once
get that. Oh boy. We
right.
need to focus on those gifts. Everybody has a gift.
And once we assemble, we're a powerful force because, like you say, everybody has a gift, everybody has a lane, everybody has responsibility, everybody is gifted, everybody can do something. And so when we come together and they see unity, they see oneness, that's what they're going to be afraid of.
Yep. Yep.
Uh-oh, this man right here, look at him. Fred, you need to come on the show because you got a lot to say. I know you do. Fred is a good friend. And so let's talk about Friday for a minute before we get off. Let's talk about Friday. How you feeling about Friday?
I'm going to tell you, at our rally on Sunday, Miss Agnes and I, we're standing there, you know, holding up our signs, doing what we do there. And we have that intersection that's there, you know, and let's say every 3 minutes or so, the red light goes on and you have a stream of cars just sitting there.
Uh-huh.
You know what we started doing? we were getting the honks, and we'd be like, oh, thank you. Well, we started handing them out the flyers. They honk, we give them the flyer. And so I think we sent out probably close to 40 to 50 flyers, just with cars that would stop there and honk, because we knew if they were honking there, they're like, oh, we like what you're doing. Well, then you're going to like this too. And so we're going to lose track of how many people are coming. They were so receptive, David. I forgot to tell you about that. They're saying, oh, thank you. And, Agnes, bring your friends, bring your family, And so it's people are hungry. They are hungry. Saturday I had my stepson's birthday party, and I was wearing, my Faith Family Freedom top. And a woman asked, Jeff, he says, she was inquiring. He's like, oh, well, you need to talk to her, you need to talk to her about that. And so it opened up dialogue, and I invited them to come on Friday as well. And she's like, she's like, yeah, she's like, that's wonderful. And I said, yeah, it's going to be right here. It coincidentally, we had our stepson's birthday party there at the same place where we're going to, have our rally. So, it's just a breath of fresh air to see people hungry.
Yes.
And I want to, like you said, that revival to revive these people, because that they want the same things. And I want them to speak up about it. We have the same, like the broken record, the same person speaking over and over again. And, you have that one song that you put on repeat, and, it's great. It's a great song. But then you hear another one, you're like, ooh, that one's good too. So we need some new songs.
Oh yeah. And the thing about it is last Friday, whoo, it was amazing.
There was a good turnout. I saw some of the photos, and I was like, I was trying to do this with the photos to see how many more people.
We had an overflow in the patio.
That's wonderful.
And what was so awesome about it, the person that was supposed to sing couldn't make it because they weren't feeling good, and the one that was supposed to do sing the national anthem, I don't know if they remembered or not. So I'm standing there, and I'm sitting there like, okay, who would love to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? And this lady stood up, and she walks up and she says, I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the national anthem. I said, really? She was like, yes. And she did them both. Oh my God, it was awesome. And so, and then I ended up singing a worship song. And so, so I don't know if that was awesome. No, it was okay. It was good. But out of the blue, we just had some people that was like, and it just floated. And Nikki was a great help in helping us, making sure everything was straight. And so, people are loving it, And I think the farthest person came was from Manitowoc.
Okay.
To Johnson Creek. Now I'm hearing some people from the Madison area supposed to be coming to Sheboygan, to hear K. Carl. So, so I'm sitting there like, oh, wow, okay. People they're getting fired up. They're believing in what we're doing. They're excited about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And now they're just saying, okay, what can we do? That's the part I'm loving. People are saying, what can we do?
Yep.
What can I do? I'm good at this, and this. What can I do? And
it would be such a fantastic thing to witness people starting to choose leaders based on our values. And I keep saying that we have so much more in common than we do not.
Right. Exactly. And that's why, when you look at it for, Let's just take your stepson birthday party. You want to be free to do birthday parties, right?
It was great. I had 26 boys there, all sugared up, just having a good time, you know. And you could see we handed out 30 invitations, and 26 of the 30 came. I was thinking maybe we'd get 6 or 8. But you know what that was? These kids have been locked up. It was their opportunity to come out and just enjoy their time. And, you know, you should have seen them. It was such a beautiful thing to just see these boys just be boys, you know. No worries, no cares, just a day to, you know, have fun. And yeah, you know, I want to witness that all over again, you know.
Right. You know, so when we look at it, that's how we want it. We want our kids to be free. We want our kids to enjoy life. Our kids ain't got no business worrying about sitting around worrying about stuff that we didn't have to worry about when we was kids.
That's right.
You know, I know, and I remember telling my son, you know, I went to his basketball game on Wednesday. So the guy said, "You need a mask to get in here. You can't come in without a mask." So I said, "Really?" So got the mask, and this is what I did. I put it on to walk through the door, took it off, and went in and sat down. I was like, "Now you're not gonna make me miss my son's game." So then on my way out, I didn't have the mask at all. He was like, "How did you get in here without a mask?" I said, "I did. I wrapped my face and I took it off when I got in the building. And I'm gonna do it like this." He was like, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna argue with you. You're not gonna argue with me. I have rights. You're not gonna force me to do something that I don't want to do. And you're not gonna stop me from not seeing my son play basketball." You
Yeah,
tell me.
it's such a showpiece that happened to us. We took the boys to Monster Jam, and they would not let us in the building. And you know, we had to go get some masks. So thank goodness there was a Target across the street, and got some masks. As soon as we got out, everybody had them off.
Right.
I'm like, so is there surveillance or something up here that you guys, you know?
To make it look like you're doing your job. And so, but even at the Packers game, I saw people with no mask on, thousands of people, you know. And so I tell them all the time, I said, "No, I'm not. I can't play y'all game. No, I'm not doing it," you know. And he looked dead at me in there sitting out there with no mask. But then you want me to put on a mask. The referees don't have a mask on. The scorekeepers don't have a mask on. The kids that's playing in the game don't have a mask on. But you think I'm gonna sit there and try to shout for my son with a mask on? You're not muzzling me. I'm sorry, you know.
Well, did you get a glimpse at our Ryder Cup?
No.
We had 50,000 people here. 50,000 people. And all of those little clips came in. Nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody's wearing a mask. 50,000 people up on stands back to back. And I ain't even going to tell you what they were shouting, because we all know what they were shouting. It was all over the news too, you know. And it's the people. You're going to tell me, no, we got stuff going on. We got stuff going on.
And it's so weird, because when you look at there's, I forgot this pastor's name, but he made a video. One of the ladies from Kenosha sent it to me. I'll send it to you. He's walking through the airport with no mask on. He's walking through with no mask. Nobody talking to him. Nobody try to stop him. Nobody talk about arresting him. Nothing. He's just walking through. He said, because it's not a law, you can't get arrested. So I'm sitting there like, this dude literally walking through. This is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of pastors I like. The ones that like to break the rules, you know, per se.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, we allow some stuff. They probably laughing at how they getting away with some stuff. You know, they're just sitting there laughing at, really, you really want? It's just like my baby wanted McDonald's, and the inside was locked. And I said, my son said, well, we want McDonald's. I said, nope, we'll order you a pizza. I'm not standing in a line because they don't want to open up their doors. I'm not going through them. If I can't go in and be free to go in, I'm not ordering from you. I'm just not gonna do it. You know, I'm sorry. And that takes me back to, I think it was 2008, 2009, where when they first gave out concealed carry, you know, some places put up the sign you can't carry. We didn't go in there to eat. We were like, okay, we boycotting you because we're not trusting you to protect us if something go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so why would I go and eat at a place I can't carry my gun?
Yeah.
You know, and Applebee's was the first one. We're like, oh, I can't carry in here. We won't be eating at Applebee's. So, you know, and I think it's time that we just really stand up and take a stand on everything, you know, because I am not going to let somebody attack me. I'm not going to let somebody, you know, at the end of the day, you want me to obey the law, but a criminal is not obeying the law.
Yeah.
No, I'm honoring my Second Amendment. I'm sorry, I have to, you know.
Yeah, you know, and to allow to, you know, for the hypocrisy, you know, I just made a comment with our mayor here. He was pictured alongside with our county board administrator, and you know, they had a meeting for the Chamber of Commerce here in our county, and nobody was wearing a mask. And
Right.
I that's exactly what I pointed out, you know, and I made a comment and I said, you know, I really do highly, you know, I sure do hope that you guys aren't hosting a super spreader. I said, I'd like to see proof of your vaccination status, as well as a negative test for everybody that's there, because
Oh,
that's what they're
wow.
doing to our children. And I made
Right.
that comment, and I don't feel bad about it. You're going to be a hypocrite. I'm going to call you out on it. Shame
Right.
on you.
That's just
Shame
like
on
our
you.
mayor. The Bucks win the championship. You see a Bucks player drinking champagne, and the mayor and the governor standing right next to him, no mask on. Soon as they got through celebrating the championship, he goes and have a press conference with a mask on, talking about I need everybody to mask up. You be like, are you don't lost your mind or something? You know, what is wrong with you guys? Y'all think we that stupid?
Mm,
I mean, we're watching you. He made a mandate, shut down everything here, mask mandate, and then they take pictures of him in Door County with no mask.
yep.
You know, so I'm sitting there like, no, enough is enough of the dumb stuff. You know,
Yeah.
we can't play these games anymore. You know, we really have to do some things different. You know, Einstein says a person that's insane is a person that keep doing the same thing, and expecting a different result.
Different outcome. Yep.
You know, we're not insane at all.
Nope.
So we got
Definitely
7
ready.
minutes. We got 7 minutes. What do you want to say to the people about Friday?
Oh my gosh. I am so excited for Friday. We've been now it's getting closer. It's getting closer. And so I've got this feeling that it's just going to be a fantastic turnout. A fantastic turnout. And I'm
Right.
so happy. You know, when I heard K. Carl Smith, um, it just resonated. It resonated. And I think I told you guys that, you know, it's like you're sitting there and you've got this whole puzzle all put out in front of you and you're missing a piece. That one piece. And it's so bothersome. Even though all the other ones are there and it's a beautiful picture, the piece is missing. You know, it's almost like you want to pick it up and throw it in the garbage because the piece is missing.
Right.
And so I'm sitting there and I didn't know what to expect, to tell you the truth, when I went to that revival. And I hear this man speak and I said, good Lord. I said, there it is. He just put it in plain English. And I said, all this time, I didn't know exactly what I was, but this is exactly who I and it was just, you know truth when you hear it. Yeah. And I that's why I told you I need to have this man back, because there's more people that need to hear him.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you're a Frederick Douglass Republican?
I sure am. I sure am.
And
And every day, I read a little more and a little more of his book, and I'm like,
I know, right? Now, don't be mad at me, but when I come Friday, I'm either going to have on my Frederick Douglass Republican polo shirt or my Frederick Douglass button-down shirt.
All right. I'll have to give me one too, because having these tops are just wonderful. People ask, what's that?
Right.
Well, let me just tell you a little bit about it.
This is what this is. And so, that's how it was. That's how it was for me when I first, when it first came out, right? And it came out, and he wrote that book in 2011. And when I read that book, a friend of mine that gave me that book, I said, I need that man here. He said, you want him in Milwaukee? I said, yes. He said, find out what it costs. And I called him up and said, what would it cost to get you to Milwaukee? And he's told me. And I brought him to Milwaukee. I brought him to a church in Milwaukee. He began to break it down. And Oh my God. And then I told my friend, I said, I need him back, but I need him back. It was 2 years later. I said, I need him back, and I need him at Juneteenth Day. He said, find out what it costs to get it. And he paid for it, for him to come. And whatever I wanted to take him, he was supposed to do wherever I wanted. That's how we set up the deal. Whatever King needs you to do, that's where you're going to go. That's what you're going to do. And Juneteenth Day, met with pastors. I mean, we just went everywhere. And it was so funny because diehard pastors, when they heard him speak, start hollering, I'm a Frederick Douglass Republican. I'm a Frederick Douglass Republican. And I'm sitting there laughing, right? And I'm like, you what? I'm not a Republican, but I'm a Frederick Douglass Republican. And I'm sitting there like, dude, why you ain't say nothing? Well, I couldn't say it right then and there. Why not?
Yeah.
So when we look at it and you start, like you say, something just click and you be like, wow, okay, that's it. That's what I'm missing. Because even though when you're reading the book, even though certain things we line ourselves with the Republican Party and all of that, but then when you read the book and you learn more about Frederick Douglass, you really line up with what he stands for, and you be like, whoa, wait a minute. That's us.
Well, I remember jokingly, K. Carl Smith says, I come from good stock. You remember when he said that? I started laughing. And, I'm thinking, that was Frederick. That was him.
Right.
That was him. He came from good stock.
Yes.
And it was, it was a blessing. He was blessed with it, and all of the, how long has passed since he's passed?
Ooh.
And his words still resonate.
Yes.
His words still resonate. And that's the thing, and I keep saying, we have been so privileged as a nation. We are spoiled rotten, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
Spoiled rotten. And these men, I think of, Dr. King, and I think of all of the trials, you cannot read, you cannot, sit down and have a conversation amongst men. None of those things. They were denied all of these things, and they still prevailed. They still found a way. And then there's us who have it right smack in front of our face, and we don't do nothing with it. So what's the hang up? You know what I mean? Like, we have all the resources available. There's Fred.
There's Fred. Hey, Randall,
What's going on, guys?
Randall, we want to do a Wisconsin Revival Rally in Rice Lake. Can you find us a building? We want to do one in Rice Lake. I need you to find us a building. Hey, sir, how are you tonight? How you doing, Fred?
I'm doing good. How are you, brother? I just got home from work, and the internet on the farm is in and out, so I apologize for that ahead of time.
Oh, that's quite all right. We just sitting here talking about how we got where we at today.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A little tired, but we're making it one day at a time, brother. Keep pushing.
Yes. Now, we know you're a fighter. We already know that. You're a fighter, and you'll fight for your babies in a heartbeat. And you're also a man of God, which we're going to have to get you to speak at one of these rallies. And we also know that you love your Second Amendment.
Just a little bit. I think you know that. I think we've done a few classes for you in the past.
Yes, a few. That's understatement, but yes. Fred is our he teaches concealed and carry class for us.
Wonderful.
And he is a like I said, he's a man of the cloth. He's a man of God. He's excellent father, loving husband of one wife.
Of
Did you hear that, honey? You heard that? I need all the brownie points I can get.
Did you hear that, honey?
Yeah, she heard that, right? I want to make sure you get the point.
Yeah.
So with everything that's going on, Fred, how do you see it with everything that's going on right now?
I think we're at a crossroads. I think it's a really scary time now. There's always been political differences, right? There's always been, we're in a two-party system, and we're seeing, factions of the left go farther left. We're seeing factions of the right go farther right. And I think that's the agenda that's being pushed, coming through the social movements, the socialist movement is a divide and conquer type mentality. They're trying to split us. They're trying to divide us. They'll do it politically. And then now once, they don't meet their end goals or what they're looking to do, now they're doing it through executive orders, mandates, those type of things. And now you've turned this into, one nation under God, the United States of America, a free democratic republic that we live in. And they're trying to turn it into, a neighbor against neighbor, whether you're vaxxed or whether you're not vaxxed or whether you have a card or how your views are, your opinions are. And quite frankly, my personal opinion, I really don't care if you have a vaccine or if you don't have a vaccine. If you think it's good and it's great, awesome. Good for you. If that helps you sleep at night, you think it's going to help you, it's going to help your family, awesome. But the minute you start mandating and forcing and start taking away freedoms, we got some problems, and I think now we're starting to see those envelopes get pushed and pushed and pushed a little further. And, I caught, the last probably 20 minutes here since I got home, you guys talking that, this is where you're seeing this revival. You're seeing a lot of people wake up. You're seeing a lot of people that have been politically silent up until this point that just usually either, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or I'm a moderate or whatever it might be, and they just kind of vote their party line, are starting to ask some serious questions. And I think they're challenging both their parties. It's not a Democrat thing. It's not a Republican thing. It's, hey, this isn't what I think. This isn't what I believe. This isn't my ideas. And now the people that I've been looking to are picking sides. And I think you've got this large majority that.
Uh-oh, he
I
was
think
on
we
the
lost
roll.
him.
I know. So what
internet
do you think about what he's
bad.
saying?
Yeah, definitely. Are you back here, Fred?
I think so.
Okay,
There we go.
go ahead and finish your statement.
Oh no, my wife told me I get on a soapbox. We're going to be here till about midnight.
I agree, Fred, completely. I think that you know, they've done a fantastic job, honestly. People fell for it, and they fell for it
Oh,
for,
absolutely.
they fell for it for a good year and a half. But now the tides are turning and I can see it. I
Mhm.
can see it. The people are waking up and they're like, wait a second, something's not right, and they're putting two and two together. So, I as I was telling, Dr. King, um, it's our time now. We need to really hone in on it. And people need to hear what they already know, you know, and it
Oh,
needs to be
100%.
solidified.
Yeah, and so when
And
we
I think it's an interesting.
go ahead, Fred, go ahead.
No, please. I'm lagging, so I start talking. I see your mouth moving.
No, go ahead.
I just think like agreeing what you guys are saying. I think it's this turning point. I think people are getting excited. I think they're you finally harmed the person enough that they're willing to stand up and say something. And I think you're seeing a lot of the common folk that typically don't run for political office, don't get involved, go to work and come back. You're seeing a lot of them run for school boards, town boards, councils, that are finally saying, hey, our voices need to be heard. I mean, look at, the attendance you guys have seen at rallies where in the past we had, you don't see it. You can't even get people to come out to hear speakers or attend revivals. I mean, you haven't had it in churches. You haven't had it in anything. And then now, coming out of the lockdown, talking about, people were, locked up, and you had all the boys able to go out to the monster rally and everything like that, that I think people are finally fed up.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because some people had to experience the lockdown and they had to experience the rejection. But I think if they would have just did it to the adults and left the children alone, I think that it wouldn't have been a bigger impact the way it is now because you don't start messing with the babies. And when you mess with somebody babies, that's a whole different. I don't care if that man weighs 89 pounds wet. If Fred would mess with his baby, he would try his best to beat Fred. And Fred stands about 6'5". So, so if he was 5'1" and 89 pounds wet, it's something about you get extra strength when you mess with the babies. You don't mess with my baby. You can beat me up all day long, but don't put your hands on my babies. And when you do that, then you're going to bring the beast out of anybody, And I think that's what's happening too, They don't put them hands on them babies and everybody's done got upset.
Oh, absolutely.
And I told the young lady who was in my office today, I said, if you was 14 today and you had to go to the doctor would ask you if you want your mama in the room. And if you say no, your mama have to leave. She said, how did we get here? I said,
that's crazy.
Exactly. Nobody warned us.
So kids can sit on your insurance until they're 25 or 26, but at 14 you can throw them out of the doctor's office.
You can throw your parents out the doctor's office. Yes. Yep. And in some schools, they can give your daughter birth controls without telling you.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason we homeschool.
Yeah. But this is the place where, somebody got to apologize to us for allowing this to happen. We didn't put them in the office for this to happen.
No. Nope.
Yeah, that same situation had happened, Dr. King, with my youngest daughter when I went into the doctor's office. And then she was a teenager at the time. And so there's a 12-year difference between my two youngest children. And I said, oh, that's not happening this time. And I don't utilize your services. I don't go to the doctor.
Right.
better have a broken leg or something, but you know, we don't
Right.
go for the checkups. We don't go do none of that. We don't get involved. It's part of the system.
Right.
And even being a nurse, you know, to each their own, you know, I was, it was my job, you know, and I did my job really well. But, you know, I learned real quick, you know, this is a very broken system. I thought I was coming in for something completely different. And it was politics from the day that I started. And, you know, there was just no joy left in it. And so I really do feel, you know, my situation, my calling, you know, God was right there and he said, I'm taking you out right now, you know? And so, you know, although painful, obviously, you know, it's not something that, I had foreseen. But, you know, like I said early on, you know, those seeds are planted, and I understood rather quickly, you know, that was his will. And that I really didn't want to be there. I really did not want to be in that system. And so it made it very easy for me to, you know, do what I did. But I think, you know, moving forward, you know, we really do. We need to get out of that system. They're
Yeah.
trying to reel us in any way, shape, or form that they can, so that we're enslaved to it. You know, it's bondage, you know, whether it be, you know, having a mortgage that you owe, or these car payments, or, you know, it's all bondage. They want you part of the system. And it makes it very difficult for you to make decisions, and leave those things.
Yeah.
You work so hard for them, you know, you can't live without them. You know, but we can, and we will.
Right. And that's why we need to buy some acres and start planting our own food.
Yep.
So, but until then, I'll be on Fred property planting me some food.
Yeah, plenty of room, brother.
You know, but you're right. Once we take their power away from us, where we're not, we you know, I used to tell people, you got to get into a place in your life where when you go to a restaurant like a McDonald's, you go because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah.
And so when we get to a place where we don't have to go to the government for anything, and the thing about it is, the only time we want to go to the government is when we're making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do for us. You know, and making sure they shrink in government, and making sure that they're not overtaxing us, and making sure, you know, that the people are being taken care of. Because the sad part about it is you got so many people, whether they're veterans of coming out of foster care, coming back home from prison, that falls through the crack because they don't care. You know,
And I think there's that misconception too, where people are like, "Oh, well, you know, you're anti-government." No, I'm not anti-government when they
right,
deserve it, right? You
right,
know, and it's the same thing, you know, when it comes to pastors and all those things, you know, there's a respect and there's a love there, but you need to be abiding by the word.
yeah,
Otherwise,
exactly.
it's just not there. And I don't owe you anything. I'm going to go seeking out, you know, the real truth, because I'm not being fed. And it's the same thing with our government. You know, they have positions that we vote them into, and if they're not doing their job, well, I don't owe you anything.
No.
You know, and I don't know where this concept of people, you know, oh, well, you can't go against the government.
Well,
Okay.
what they're saying is you can't go against our freebies. You know, we love our freebies. There was a young lady, they asked a question to her, and they asked her, they said, why are you voting for Obama? And she said, because he's giving us free phones.
Mm.
So that was the only reason why, because of free stuff. Not based on his policies, not based on what he stood for, not based on if he's doing a great job or not. because his policies. But watch this though. You go to the other side and you say, why are you voting for Joe Blow? Because he's a Republican. Not because he did a great job, not because he looked out for the people, not because he really represented the people, just because he's a Republican. And we're like, okay, so we got one group looking for free stuff and the other group just doing something just to do it because they got an R behind their name. You know, no, what do they stand for? You know, what's their values? Are they a believer? You know, the Bible says when the righteous and all the people rejoice. When are we going to experience and taste that? We need to taste that. When are we going to taste that? You know, so when you look at it from the standpoint of no more voting just because, like the blacks, they waking up. They're not going to vote for you just because you're black anymore. You know, we need to know what you're standing for, because every time we vote somebody black and they're a black Democrat, we get nothing in return. So what is it that will make us vote for you now?
Oh, you got anything there, Fred?
Other than fighting the internet, no, we're switched over to my off-grid mobile hotspot here, and I think I can stay in. But yeah, it's I think I think the times are changing. I think you guys hit it on the head. I think I'm interested to see what the next year brings. I'm praying for our nation to wake up and to really realize what's going on. Really, and it's happening on both sides of the aisle. I mean, I'm not going to, I lean, Brother King knows I lean much more conservative. But you know, I think it's in the government. It's all over the government. And I think we've got clear politicians. We've got people that have turned this into a career. You go back to our founding fathers. You know, we were the United States of America, not the United Federal Government of America. We were founded as a republic for 50 individual states with states' rights were the priority, not growing a federal government and creating jobs at a federal level to keep busy and now dictating our lives. You know, you go back and you read a lot of the Federalist Papers and some of those other things, and you know they argued for a small federal government. I mean, it was there to raise a standing army in case we had to defend ourselves against a foreign threat, and to facilitate trade on an international level. I mean, and that's, you know, that was it at the beginning, and it ran fine. You know, and so you see a lot of these additions that were put in to basically create a business of the federal government. So yeah, it's definitely taking over, and I think people are getting tired of it.
Yes, that is so true. So, you know, I think that you know, I'm excited about the rallies. We got 12 minutes, so we're gonna talk about the rally a little more. But I need you to check your calendar, not the one on paper, the one that's walking around in the kitchen, wherever she's walking right now. and check that calendar to see when she allow you to can speak at one of these rallies that we got going, because you know people need to hear you as well. But
No,
this Friday, I'm praying that we gotta cut the roof open, you know, with people so they can get in there, because I gotta check to see if my PA system gonna be strong enough for all those people too, because I'm looking for I just got a feeling it's gonna be just as big, if not bigger, than Johnson Creek. Because Johnson Creek was nice. It was really, really nice. So
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it, you know, and subsequent ones as well, you know, going into you know, the winter season, you know, it's definitely going to be an effort on our part to you know, continue to keep the people motivated. and to speak those words of encouragement and hope, because we know that it's there, you know. So that's my desire, is to keep rounding up you godly men and supporting you guys, in these endeavors, because you know um, we need to continue to have that unity, and as I said before, we have so much more in common than they want us to believe. um, you know Maybe, just maybe, by having these rallies, that's all that we'll need, is to speak those words of encouragement to people. And I think really it will be as simple as that, because when it resonates. And there's
Yes.
nothing that's going to stop a heart that's yearning for truth. And when you hear it, it's just there, and that's exactly what I was blessed with when I heard K. Carl Smith. So hopefully, God willing, there'll be some other hearts that will be engaged by it as well.
Yeah, and I that's my goal too. And when people hear him, uh, I think a light bulb going to come on, and they're going to be like, "This it right here. This it." So now, what do I do to get this to the next level? And between now and August, we'll have K. Carl back numerous of times, because he supports the campaign. He endorsed the campaign. So we'll have him here to help us wake up a lot of people. So, there's another gentleman I really got to try to get here. His name is C.L. Bryant, and he made a documentary called The Runaway Slave. And he is another one, just amazing. And you sit there and you be like, how did you hide this from, people, to make people think, because all we want people to do, we're not trying to indoctrinate nobody. We're trying to make them think,
Yeah.
Think for yourself. Think, here's the homework. I was in the restaurant today and I was talking to a guy about Frederick Douglass, right? And in the process of talking to him about Frederick Douglass, I ended up talking about the seven gentlemen that was U.S. Congress in the 1800s as Republicans, right? And I began to share how the Democrats, through them, birthed out the KKK, and it was a Democrat in front of us, and you could tell he was heated, he was mad. He was frustrated. I don't think he enjoyed his meal. I think when he got up, but here's the thing I loved about it. He couldn't turn around and say Will was lying.
Yeah.
Anytime you're dealing with truth and they know you're dealing with truth, all they can do is get angry, but they can't come back and say you're lying. Because you got all the documents. I was pulling on my phone all the documents. Look at this. And he was like, man, I didn't know that. It was like, look at this, And so the guy was just getting frustrated, He stood up, so you could tell his whole demeanor, he was just mad. And I just looked at him. So when he was walking out the restaurant, he just still looking up at us because we were sitting by the window, frustrated, mad. But I'm so glad he was mad, because he got to go home and think about it.
Yeah.
And so as we giving out truth and we're making people think, what have you gotten from the vote that you've been doing? What have you got? Because if you would have got what you want, we wouldn't be here fighting today.
And as you said, would you vote for him again?
Exactly.
Would you?
You're insane. If you vote for him again, you're insane. And nobody in office right now that's running for a different office deserves a promotion.
Yeah, no.
No, nobody, because they haven't done anything. So what do you deserve a promotion for?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So you sit back and you look at it, and then you're like, oh, well, he finna be that. Now you want to be this. Okay, but what did you do over here? You know, what did you do so great? Now, Tom Barrett killed Milwaukee, and he getting a promotion to an ambassador. So, you know, but we can't afford we can't afford anymore. You know, we just can't.
Well, I don't know. You know, I was talking to one of these ladies at my rally on Sunday, and I said, you know, at this point, I'm just going to show up with all of the names of the people that I'm voting for so that there's no question. You know, there ain't gonna be no cheating going on. You saw it on my shirt. These are the people, you know, that I'm endorsing right here. Don't be getting all mixed up. And my telephone number's on there too, so y'all don't get that mixed up. My address.
So you ain't so
I'll put my what do you say in Spanish? It's called your huella. Your what's it called? Your fingerprint.
Oh. So you're gonna give them everything, huh?
Yep, there'll be no question. There'll be no question because, you know, at this point they want to know what color underwear we have on. Well, if they need to know that too for the, you know, for it to go through, so be it. There'll be no question.
So let's see. So Fred, we got about 4 minutes. What you want to say? Throw some nuggets.
Ooh, all right. It's been a long day. I've been up since 4:30, but I think final thoughts. How about let's leave you with this. Galatians 5:1, right? Stand fast, therefore, brethren, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free.
All right.
Amen.
I like that. I like that one. That was a good way to get out of that one. I like that.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Ruth?
Final thoughts. Nothing other than, you know, I feel super, super blessed, you know, despite my, you know, financial situation. You know, we've been managing, you know, and I feel so blessed to have been given the opportunity to give of myself in this way, you know, and I know that I needed it, you know, personally, in my own walk, you know, with God. And so, you know, all things happen and let it be for the good. And so, you know, I guess I just want to encourage people, you know, I want to continue to encourage people, you know, we have truth and there is nothing stronger than that. You know, well, I'll go down fighting, you know, for truth. There is very little that I'll fight for aside from truth. Not anymore.
And for my final thoughts, I just want to say to every group out there, every organization out there, stay connected to one another. The stronger unity is more powerful than anything. Don't let the spirit of jealousy or ego or envy come in our camps and destroy us. Let us all stay there to support one another, encourage one another, to build one another up, because at the end, we win.
Yep. Yep. We come in one spirit.
Yes. One mind, one spirit, you know, and we can do a lot. And I feel confident. I'm excited. I thank God that we're going to be successful in this journey with His help and with His wisdom, His divine wisdom, His divine strategy. I believe that we're going to be victorious. So I'm just grateful to God, and I'm grateful to God for Brother Ian being on, Brother Fred being on, Sister Ruth Sister Ruth. Sound like you're a Catholic nun. Being on with us. So everybody, join us Friday at the Lakeshore Lanes in Sheboygan. Keynote speaker, Kate Carl Smith. And I am one of the speakers on Friday. So Y'all come on out and let's have a glorious time in the Lord. Until next week, Tuesday, we love you guys and God bless.
God bless.